Good morning, everyone. So this is Parikshit Rathi, and I would like to inform you all that I have secured third position in all over world and second position in India for my financial reporting paper of ACCA. So in this video, I would like to brief you guys about what was my strategy to secure world rank third in this ACCA financial reporting paper, and which material I preferred, and how did I study that material. So before going ahead, I would like to thank Mr. Prakash Saraf sir and Saraf Academy for being there throughout my ACCA journey of 7 papers till yet. Now I would like to brief you guys about what is ACCA. So basically, ACCA is a global CA, which is certified from UK. ACCA is a association of certified chartered accountants, and it is recognized in more than 180 countries of all over the world. Now I would like to brief you guys about why I chose ACCA. So ACCA is a globally recognized course, and as you all know that it have a lot of recognition in abroad countries. So my main reason was that if you want to settle in any abroad country like UK, Dubai, UAE, in countries in UAE, then ACCA is a very valuable course there. And my next reason was that the syllabus covered in ACCA. It is more of like a Indian CA only, but the syllabus is divided into 13 papers, and you are not stuck up with a lot of burden of papers at a time. You can just give one paper at a time in every quarter. So my main reason was that I can focus on single subject at a time rather than just giving a lot of papers and a lot of subject papers in 2 to 3 days. I have 3 months for single subject, and it have around 13 papers. So on an average, you can complete your ACC program in 2 to 3 years. And if you have the potential, you can give 2 papers at a time also. So if you want to speed up the process of ACCA and get your qualification before time, now I would like to tell you guys about what study material I referred for my FR. And not only FR, I refer it in my throughout all papers. So it was study text of Kaplan and BPP question bank. The main motto of choosing BPP was that as BPP have a lot of more trickier questions than Kaplan. That's what I feel, because I've seen both Kaplan and BPP. So Kaplan have a lot of trickier question, and if someone have done Kaplan kit one time or twice, then you have already like secured above average marks according to me, because like paper is not hard to the fullest. Like there can be 5 to 10 sums which are a lot of trickier, which you have already done in BPP kit, but the rest of the paper will be above average only. So yeah, I would suggest that you guys should go on with your Kaplan study text twice or thrice, so that you can theoretically learn the subject to its fullest. And after that, to impart your theoretical knowledge practically, you should go through the BPP kit at least twice, so that you can go through the questions and enhance your knowledge in that subject. Now I'd like to talk about the paper pattern. There are 3 sections: section A, B, and C. So section A and B are MCQ based, and section C is where you have to type the answers. And the bad part we can say is that we think that MCQs are really easy and we can cope up with that even without practicing, but that's not the case here. So you have to go through a lot of practice for getting your hands on for MCQs. MCQs in ACC are really tricky. You are either this way or that way. You can't score any partial marking in MCQs. So I would suggest that go thoroughly with all the MCQs in your question bank, so that you can get your hands on with the MCQs. Now talking about section C, where you have to type. A main advantage in section C is that you can get partial markings for the whatever you have written. Like you won't get 0 if you are the answer is wrong. You can get the marks for the steps. So the main benefit in section C is this. Now talking about individual section C, there are 3 types of sums or 3 kinds of questions which we can expect in section C. The first one is single entity, the second one is consolidation, the third one is ratio interpretation in this FR portion. So what you have to do is like what most of the people do, like when they start section C questions, they think that, oh, that's so hard, we can't do it, and there are a lot more adjustments in there. But I would suggest please go through the MCQs first of all the MCQs of question bank, so that you'll already be friendlier with the adjustments which are there in section C. Because in section C also the most of the adjustments are from the chapters throughout, like they are mixed up from the whole 20 to 20 chapters. There are a lot of adjustments from different chapters. So if you are already familiar with the adjustments in all the chapters, then you can just make your working notes. The working notes is like the most important part of your question, because if you have made the working notes and understood that working note, that where you have to adjust that figure, then you can just make your financial statement or financial position or whatever, like P&L, whatever you're making, and just impart that figure. It's just an addition or subtraction after you have understood the working notes. But if you don't know about working notes and you are just making your financial statements, then it won't work, because you won't get any marks for addition and subtraction there. The main marks are for adjustments you do. And so I personally prefer making working notes first, and writing at the end of the working note, I just write that what element of financial statement is affected, and I have to add it or subtract it from that figure. So that's like, this makes it really easy for me to just like after, like at the end, I just have to make a financial statement and do the adjustments which I have written upwards. So yeah, that made my section C really easy. Now coming to consolidation, they are, you know, that it's about profit and loss or the statement of financial position. So the most important thing is that 6 steps which you have seen in your consolidation chapter of financial position. You should go through that 6 steps more than 5 times before your exam, so that you can just like make that working note. And trust me, if that working note of 6 steps is clearly and thoroughly done by you in your exam, you're already done like more than halfway. Then you just have to make that financial statement, financial position or financial P&L. And even a like 11th to 12th standard guy can do that. Like we have to just impart the figures which are written in the working notes, that's it. So I would suggest that you should focus on the working notes and understand the working notes which are there in your question bank and all these, so that you can know where which figure is going. Now talking about interpretation of financial ratios. Interpretation, first of all, like I read that interpretation chapter and understood it more than 3 to 4 times. That's the most important thing, that what ratio is trying to convey and what are the consequences of changing the ratio and what are the reasons the ratio is changing. And then just practice few of the questions from question bank of interpretation of ratios and try to relate what's written in the study text, which you have studied, and that practical scenario of the company which is given in that question, and trying to expand your explanation of the same disadvantages, advantages, or the consequences of changes in ratios. So that's how you can score good in ratio interpretation and make it really easy. So that's all from my side, and if you have any queries or any confusions, you can just reach out to me or Mr. Prakash Saraf sir. I'll be giving his number and my contact number in the link below. Thank you so much.